Hello and welcome to the Pretty Good Gaming Daily Triple, your no shit gaming news video. That's 3 news stories in one video with 0 faff. And first up, Platinum Games have just launched a Kickstarter, and that's despite a huge investment from mega corporation Tencent. Platinum Games, the folks behind Bayonetta, Nier Automata, and Astral Chain, just announced a Kickstarter for a remaster of 2013's Wonderful 101, which was originally released for the Wii U. Don't worry, I hadn't heard of it either. This is Platinum's first attempt at a self-published game, having worked with Sega, Square Enix, and Nintendo in the past. The original goal for the Kickstarter was for $50,000 and was almost instantly hit. The stretch goals of $250,000 and $500,000 were hit within 4 hours, meaning the game will come to PC and PS4 sometime in the future. Additional stretch goals of $1 million and $1.5 million were added, which will fund extra content such as a time attack mode and, quote, a brand new 2D side-scrolling adventure called Luca's First Mission. The total amount pledged currently sits at £820,000 at the time of recording, with over 16,000 backers and 31 days left to go. The Kickstarter comes at an interesting time for the Osaka-based studio, since it recently signed a deal with Chinese megacorporation Tencent. Platinum addressed the Tencent investment in the Kickstarter page's FAQ. What about the recent news of capital investment in Platinum Games? Although Platinum Games has recently received a capital investment from an outside firm, our plans for the Wonderful 101 remastered precede that agreement, and capital received from the investment will not be used to fund the development costs associated with the project. This Tencent agreement will likely fund the additional projects the studio is working on, with the Wonderful 101 being the first of 4 new titles coming soon. Tencent has dominated the Chinese gaming market for years, but has taken up a number of controversial partnerships with Western developers and publishers in recent years, including Ubisoft, Epic Games, and Activision Blizzard. On the topic of Blizzard, after having the worst video game launch of the decade, the company has finally broken its silence regarding WarCraft 3 Reforged. In a lengthy but ultimately hollow forum post, Blizzard's community manager tries to alleviate some of the complaints levied at the game. Apart from the predictable brown-nosing, the statement boasts how it resolved connectivity issues later on launch day. It goes on to list a number of bug fixes such as portrait animations, audio bugs, and UI fixes, which are expected to be patched into the game later in the week. Interestingly, it mentions identifying the bug behind the shaders and colors being different to the original WarCraft 3. And here I thought remasters were meant to make the game look different, but I guess they're meant to make the game look better, not worse. The post also discusses the absence of leaderboards and clan features, promising that these will be implemented at an unspecified date, despite the fact that people have already paid for what they thought would be the full game. It goes on to explain certain concerns which will not be addressed, such as the removal of tournaments and Reign of Chaos rule sets due to their lack of active usage in the original game's community. Blizzard claims that removing these streamline our overall support of the game and focus on areas impacting the most players, but mentions that custom games will be made with similar rule sets which it hopes will help satisfy that concern. That means that not only is Blizzard using the community to do the work, but will also be able to claim all the credit since they now own 100% of all user-generated content. In what is probably the most half-assed and disingenuous portion of the post, Blizzard explains the changes to the cutscenes as an attempt to maintain the true spirit of WarCraft 3 and allow players to relive these unforgettable moments as they were. Preserving the original style is all well and good, but when you promise something in your marketing material and trailers only to go back on it for the full release, that's just fucking lying. The post closes by pledging to support the game yada 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 corporate spiel. Altogether, this does little to address any of the biggest problems with the game, like players feeling misled and demanding refunds, or that the original game is now literally unplayable, or the EULA changes and how all custom games now belong to Blizzard. A statement like this will bring peace of mind to few fans and serves as yet another example of how Blizzard is a shell of its former self. What a shame. I just find it ironic that the company known for making games featuring orcs and demons would turn out to be the real monster. And finally, while Blizzard is edging closer and closer to the precipice of its inevitable demise, Capcom is continuing its winning streak. Despite multiple controversies surrounding Street Fighter V, Capcom has been on a roll for the past year. That winning streak has been due to the success of Resident Evil 2 Remake and Devil May Cry 5, but even more significantly, Monster Hunter World Iceborne. The game, which initially launched back in January 2018, is one of Capcom's most successful games, being the fastest title to reach 6 million units sold and becoming becoming the company's 4th best-selling game ever within a month of its release. As of January 2nd, 2020, the base game of Monster Hunter World had shipped 15 million units. The Iceborne expansion, which launched on consoles in September 2019, has sold over 4.5 million units. And that's despite January's PC launch, which went down about as well as far in a cramped elevator. Iceborne has massively contributed to Capcom's 30% increase in profits year over year after the third fiscal quarter. And while profits are up, revenue is actually down 15.2% year over year, meaning that while total earnings may be lower, expenses are also lower, which results in more capital gains, i.e. profit. And that's it for today. If you enjoyed this no shit format, go ahead and give it a like and the boost that it needs. Hit subscribe and the bell if you want to stay up to date on all future installments. Toss a coin to your favorite YouTuber over at patreon.com/prettygoodgaming. I've been Henry. That's all for today. Bye for now. Okay, let's do it. On the topic of Blizzard, on the topic of Blizzard, there's a smoke alarm going off. There's a smoke alarm. It's all good. We're not burnt down.